Welcome students. Today's topic is actually, I would like to write it on the board. It is narration. When you think about this particular topic, this particular word, narration, it simply means how to narrate the things, how to narrate someone's speech. If you hear someone's speech, you are talking to someone and you have to narrate the same thing to somebody else, and it is what we are going to talk about. So there are two things we must keep in mind while doing this topic. It is actually, there are two ways to narrate the things. There are two ways to narrate the speech of anybody. One is direct speech. The second one is indirect speech. It must be clear in our minds what actually these terms mean. Direct speech means when you contact with someone, someone is speaking to you and he told you something, and you have to narrate the same thing to somebody else. The one way is you narrate that particular speech very directly. It means you narrate that speech exactly, you narrate exactly the same words which the speaker has said. You narrate them exactly the way the speaker has said them. You don't make any changes while you are narrating the things in this way. The second way is your indirect speech, which means you make certain changes in the speech, in someone's speech. Somebody told you something and you are narrating the same thing to somebody else in his absence. Now what will you do? You make certain changes in that speech. Sometimes you change the tense of the speech. The other time, sometimes you change the pronouns which are used in that particular speech. Now, I would like to, we will go through certain rules which we have to follow while doing this topic practically. The first case, direct speech, I'll give you example. Ali said, I am writing a letter. Ali said, I am writing a letter. This is the example of direct speech. And you keep in inverted commas the speech of somebody. Now there are two parts. You can exactly look here. This one is called reporting verb, and the speech which is in inverted commas, this is called reporting verb. Sorry, it is reported speech. This is reporting verb, this is reported speech. Here is what you can say. You will understand from this part who is speaking to whom, and in this part, this speech, this is actually the speech of the person which is mentioned here in reporting verb. Now this is the first way to narrate the things. If you narrate the things, if you narrate the speech exactly in the way the speaker has said, you don't make any changes. You don't make any changes, whether it is in case of the tense of the sentence, it is the case of the subject or the pronouns in the speech. You don't make any changes and you narrate the same thing in the same way the speaker has said. This is called direct speech. You don't make any changes. Ali said, Ali has said, Ali is the speaker, he says about himself, I am writing a letter. He said to me, I am writing a letter. Now the same thing I am going to tell to somebody else about her friend. Ali, suppose Ali is my friend. He told me something. He was doing something. I asked him, what are you doing? He said, I am writing a letter. So I am going to tell my friend about Ali that Ali said, I'm writing a letter. I told it the same way. I actually mentioned every word. I told you the speech, I told my friend the speech exactly the way Ali has said. I didn't make any change here. So this is direct speech. This is an example of direct speech. Then the second case is indirect speech. Now, I will convert this particular example into indirect speech. Ali said, to connect the two parts, we use that. Ali said that. Now I'll make certain changes. That he was writing a letter. Ali said, now the changes, I will talk about the changes which I made. I joined the two parts, reporting verb and reported speech, by using the word that. The second thing, in the reported speech, when I changed this into into indirect speech, I changed the pronouns. Instead of I used he. I changed the tense of the sentence also. This is in this reported speech is in present continuous tense. And when I changed it into indirect speech, I changed it into past continuous tense. So it means I made two changes. One, the pronouns. One, the conjunction here. The second, pronouns. And the third, the tense of the sentence. I changed it. So this is the second way of reporting or narrating the speaker's speech. I said, Ali said that he was writing a letter. I made certain changes. I'm talking to you and Ali has said something to me. I went to his home. He was writing. I asked him, what are you doing? He said to me that he was writing a letter at that time. So these are the two ways of narrating the things to someone. Now there are certain rules which we have to follow while doing this topic or while understanding this particular topic. It is rule number 1. The very first rule we must keep in mind. If reporting verb The very first rule, if reporting verb is in present tense or in future tense, the tense of reported speech is not changed in indirect speech, in indirect narration. I hope you have got this. For example, he says, I am playing. Look at the reporting verb, the tense of the reporting verb. It is in present tense. Okay. Now, if such is the case, or I would like to say, or he will say. He says or he will say, reported speech, I am playing. Okay. Now the tense of reporting verb is in it is present tense, or we say we keep it a future tense. In this case, when you are converting this a particular thing into indirect speech, we don't have to change the tense of reported speech here. Like, he says that he is playing. He says, if the reporting verb is he says, we'll convert it, we will keep it like as it is. He says. If it is he will say, we will say he will say that he is playing. Now the reported speech in direct speech is in present tense. Now look here. He is playing. I change the pronoun only. Without changing the tense of the sentence. It is in present tense. I kept the tense same here as well. He is playing. It is in present tense. In indirect speech, we are not allowed to change the tense of the sentence here. Why? Because the rule is, if reporting verb is in present tense or in future tense, we can't change the tense of the sentence, reported speech, in indirect speech. We have to change the pronouns only, not the tense of the sentence. I hope you understand this. It was the first rule. Now, rule number 2. If reporting verb is in past tense, the tense of reported speech is changed in indirect speech. For example, Ali said, subject plus V2. It means this is past tense. Ali said, I helped poor. Now, according to the rule, reporting verb Ali said to join that. Now, this I is, who is this I? We'll get it from here. Ali said, this is a speech of Ali. Ali said I helped poor. He's talking about himself. This I is Ali. So, Ali or he. Now the tense of reporting verb here is past tense. We have to change the tense of reported speech here in indirect speech. Now this is in past tense. We have to change it into past perfect. That he had helped poor. We change the tense here in indirect speech. Now, the question is, which tense is to be changed in which tense in indirect speech? If it is present indefinite, we have to change it into past indefinite in indirect speech. If the tense in reported speech is present continuous, we will change it into past continuous in indirect speech. Number 3. Present perfect will be changed into past perfect. Present perfect continuous will be changed into past perfect continuous. All the present tenses changed into past tense. Now, if it is past indefinite, it will be changed into past perfect. If it is past continuous, it will be changed into past perfect continuous. If it is past perfect, there will be no change. If it is past perfect continuous in direct speech, there will be no change in indirect speech. Past perfect and past perfect continuous will be kept same in indirect speech. Now, if it is future, we use the word shall or will in future. We have to change these only words in indirect speech: should or would. These words will be changed in those words. Then, if there are models, can will be changed into could. May will be changed into might. These were certain rules about our today's topic, that is narration. And this was all about the basic rules, which tense is to be changed in which tense, and there are certain other rules as well, and then we will do it practically what actually this topic is. Now, I think it is much enough for today. Thank you very much.